Today, I'm going to share with you the 10 best ways to make money as a solo player in GTA Online. In the number 10 spot, we have the bunker, and you can make up to $100,000 per hour with a business by doing two things. The first is by completing ammo drop-offs where you drive a delivery truck to an ammunition. They're available every 48 minutes and it takes about 3 to 5 minutes to do. And at the end of it, you'll be paid $50,000. The second way is through the bunker itself. The way the bunker works is you steal or purchase supplies. Over time, those supplies are then turned into product, which you could later sell for a profit. If you have the equipment upgrade and the staff upgrade, you could purchase supplies for $75K, and after 2.5 hours, those supplies will turn into product that you could sell for $210,000, meaning per hour you're making about $50,000 to $55,000 profit. Although if you do the sell mission in a public lobby with 25 or more people, you can earn an additional 50% on the sale, making you even more profit. Now, while this is a decent and easy way to make money, it's far from the money methods that are higher up on the list, which is why it's in number 10. Next up on the list is vehicle cargo. Now, in order to get the business, you'll first need to get a CEO office, and then from there, you could purchase a vehicle warehouse. The way the business works is you first do source missions where you steal cars of various quality, bring them back to the warehouse, and once they're at the warehouse, you could then sell them to buyers for a profit. The most profitable cars to sell are the top range vehicles, and if sold to a specialist buyer, you can make $80K per sale in a private lobby and $130,000 profit per sale in a public lobby. But during the source and sell missions, if the car incurs any kind of damage, that will be deducted from your total profit. Also, car sales have a 20-minute cooldown, so the most you could do is 3 in 1 hour, meaning the business can make you anywhere between $200,000 all the way up to $390,000 per hour. Now, while that is a great way to make money, because car damage can eat into profits, the unreliable pay stops it from being higher up on the list. In the number 8 spot, we have special cargo. This is the other part of the CEO business. In order to get it, you'll have to have, once again, a CEO office, but once you have that, you could then purchase a cargo warehouse. Now, the way the business works is you do source missions where you steal 1, 2, or 3 crates at a time, bring them back to the warehouse, and then you could sell them on for a profit. Now, the profit per crate increases the more crates you have in the warehouse and the more you have during your sell mission, so going with the larger crate warehouses is always the best option. If you get good enough with the source missions and utilize the assistant at the warehouse who will source 1 to 3 crates per hour for you, you can make over $200,000 per hour by sourcing and selling crates. And of course, once again, if you do it in a public lobby with 25 or more people, you can earn an additional 50% on top of that. Although with that being said, the best way to make money with the business is to actually wait for a double money event week. When that happens, if you have 5 large warehouses, you could sell them for over 15 million if you're selling in full public lobbies, which is a ton of money. And hearing that number, you may think this has to be higher up on the list, but because the large sell missions almost always have 3 sell vehicles, it opens up the possibility of being griefed quite easily. But not only that, it also takes quite some time to fill up the warehouses, which is why it is lower on the list. Up next on the list is the auto shop, but more specifically, the auto shop contracts. These contracts are like mini Heist, where you have 3 setup missions and 1 finale. There are 8 in total, and each one takes anywhere between 20 to 30 minutes to complete as a solo player. The payout varies for each, but most will net you 150 to 200 grand, aside from the best paying contract, the Union Depository contract, which pays out almost 300 grand. Each contract has roughly a 1 hour cooldown, so you can't do the same one back to back, but you can jump right into another one if it isn't on cooldown. So with that being said, if you do 2 to 3 of them in 1 hour, you can easily make over 400K in an hour. Now, while this is one of my favorite money methods in the game, its earning potential and work required doesn't compare to the ones that are ahead of it. And so with that being said, in the number 6 spot, we have the newly added Salvage Yard. This business has 2 ways to earn money. The first is through the car robberies, which are essentially mini heists once again. They have 3 setups, 2 to 3 small free mode tasks, and then 1 finale mission where you steal a car and bring it back to the Salvage Yard. Now, the robberies take anywhere between 45 minutes to an hour to complete as a solo player, and once the car is back at the yard, you can either salvage it for parts or sell it to the docks for a higher price. The payouts vary, but each will make you roughly between $200,000 to $500,000. Unfortunately though, they can only be done once per in real life week, which makes them not as good as the auto shop contracts. But that's where the second way to make money comes in, and that is stealing cars to salvage. If you have the tow truck for the business, you could then do missions where you go out and illegally tow vehicles and bring them back to the salvage yard. Once they're back, staff at your salvage yard will then break down the car, making you money each time. If you have the additional staff upgrade, it will take 48 minutes to fully salvage one car, but if you don't, it will take twice the time. Car salvaging pays out anywhere between $30,000 to $60,000 depending on the vehicle you have, and 2 cars can be salvaged at any given time. That means for just 5 to 10 minutes of work each hour, you can earn $60,000 to $120,000 in partially passive income each hour. And not only that, for every salvage you do, more money will be deposited into your salvage yard wall safe every in-game day for no work at all. And that is why the salvage yard just beats out the auto shop contracts. Not only does it offer high paying heists, but it also generates passive income on the side. Next up, we have the nightclub, and there's 2 ways to make money with the business. The first is through the nightclub wall safe. Depending on how much popularity your nightclub has, there will be a set amount of money deposited into the wall safe every in-game day or 48 minutes. The max you could get is $50,000 per in-game day, and it slowly goes down from there the less popularity you have. Now there's a few different ways that you could increase the nightclub popularity, but there are 2 that are the best. The first is through switching or hiring new DJs. Each time you hire a new DJ, 100% of the popularity bar will be filled, and for every time you rebook a DJ, 10% of the popularity bar will be filled. Also, if you get the staff upgrade for the nightclub, it will slow down the rate at which you lose popularity. The other way is by tossing out disturbances in your nightclub. These show up as little blue blips on your minimap. Each time you toss one out, you'll get some money and popularity. But with that being said, the second way to make money with the nightclub is through the warehouse. Now the way it works is you could hire up to 5 different technicians and assign them to source you 5 different types of product. And once the product has been sourced, you could then sell it for a profit. The technicians source products for you in the background, so all you have to do is be in an online session. Besides that, there is no work required until the final sell mission. Now there are 7 types of products you could assign the technicians to source, but there are 5 that are the best. The only catch is that in order to assign a technician to source a certain type of product, you first have to own a corresponding business in the game. But with that being said, here are the 5 best products and the businesses you need to have in order to assign them to it. First is cargo and shipments. You'll need a CEO cargo crate warehouse or a hangar for that. Second is sporting goods. You'll need a bunker for that. Third is South American imports, which you'll need a Coca-Cola lockup for. Fourth is pharmaceutical research, which you need a blue stuff lab for. And 5th is cash creation, which you need a counterfeit cash factory for. If you have all 5 technicians assigned to those 5 products and have purchased the equipment upgrade for the nightclub, the technicians will source you $50,000 worth of product every single hour. As for the sell mission, you'll only ever have 1 sell vehicle, and they are upgradable. And just like the other businesses, if you sell in a public lobby with 25 or more people, you could get a bonus 50% on the sale. But with that being said, if you combine the wall safe earnings and the warehouse earnings, you could make at least $100,000 per hour in almost entirely passive income with the nightclub. And while that is amazing, the nightclub is in the 5 spot because it is not easily accessible, since the setup cost exceeds $10 million. But that is precisely why the number 4 spot goes to the acid lab. The way the business works is you purchase or steal supplies. Over time, those supplies are turned into product, which you could then sell for a profit. Now, in order to purchase the acid lab, you have to complete 6 first dose missions, but they pay out between $60,000 to $260,000, making the business almost free. Once you've got the acid lab, you could then complete 10 Fooligan missions so that you could unlock the equipment upgrade. With that, 1 batch of supplies will cost $60,000, and 1.6 batches of supplies will fully fill up the acid lab in roughly 4 hours time. A fully filled up acid lab will sell for $335,000 in an invite-only session, but if you sell it in a public lobby with 25 or more people, the final sale will be over $500,000. Once again, you'll only have 1 sell vehicle for the sell mission, but with all that being said, it means that this business, after supplies are factored in, can make you 100 grand per hour. Now it does take some time for the business to fill up, but because you could get the business for essentially free, I think it deserves the number 4 spot. In the number 3 spot, we have the Hangar. Now the way the business works is you do source missions where you steal crates, bring them back to the warehouse, and then you can sell them for a profit. There are 2 types of source missions, land and air, and I always suggest going with land as they could be done in 3 to 5 minutes if you have a flying vehicle like a Sparrow or a Raiju. The warehouse has a max capacity of 50 crates and each crate sells for $30,000 on their own, but you can earn a bonus on the sell mission for collecting a certain amount of each crate. The best way to run the business is to source 2 of the 3 medical supplies, narcotics, and chemicals and do the source missions back to back. Doing this will avoid the few minute cooldown that each source mission has, and it means you'll get the max payout once you've sourced 25 of each good. Once you have 25 of each, you could then sell them separately in public lobbies to get the 35 and 50% bonus on each sale, which, when all is said and done, works out to 750k per hour. Now, while that is a crazy amount of money per hour, it does have a big barrier to entry in that you have to have a flying vehicle in order for it to be efficient. But with that being said, we've now reached the top 2, and these are actually a bit interchangeable. It depends on how much time you have to play the game or what kind of stuff you like to do in game, but for the sake of this list, I will give them concrete positions, and so that means in the number 2 spot, we have the Cayo Perico Heist. For the longest time, this was the number 1 spot, but now it is number 2, although it can be number 1 for some people. So, in order to do the Cayo Perico Heist, you have to have the Kasaka submarine. And what the heist is you essentially sneak onto a private island, take loot from around the island and a primary target that's in a central compound, and if you could do that and escape the island successfully, you can earn anywhere between $850,000 all the way up to about 1.5 million. The heist takes anywhere between 45 minutes all the way up to an hour and a half, depending on what vehicles you have for the setup missions and how often you've done it, but if you're a veteran, you should be able to get it done in 40 to 50 minutes. If you're new to the heist or are struggling a bit with it, I will leave a link to my complete guide in the description down below going over the setups and the finale. I hope that helps you. But with that being said, although the heist makes you tons of money, unfortunately as a solo player, it does have a 2.5 hour cooldown, meaning you could only do this maybe a couple times a day depending on how long you're going to be playing GTA 5 for. Now, if you only have about an hour to play each day and want to make money, this is by far the best way to make money. Nothing comes even close. But for those of you who are playing a little bit longer than that or want some variety, then the number 1 spot is going to be the thing that you want. And that is the Dr. Dre Contract / the Agency. Now, the Dr. Dre Contract is essentially a large heist. You have 3 mini heists and then 2 finale missions, and at the end of it, you earn $1 million, although in total, you're earning around 1.1 to 1.2 million. It does take a little bit longer than the Cayo Perico Heist. It takes about an hour and a half to 2 hours of work, but the reason why the Agency is so good is because it offers 3 other ways to make money along with the Dr. Dre Contract. The first is through security contracts, which are simple jobs. They take about 5 to 10 minutes to complete and earn about 30 to 60k on average. The other one is once you've completed 3 security contracts, you'll then unlock the payphone hits, which are by far the best next to the Dr. Dre Contract. Payphone hits are simple assassination missions. They take about 5 minutes to complete, and if you complete the assassination and a challenge, you will earn $85,000. Now, they do have a 48-minute cooldown, but they are great to work in while doing the Dr. Dre Contract. You could usually get 2 to 3 done in that time. And the final way to make money is through the Agency wall safe. For every security contract you complete, $100 will be added to a total that will be deposited into the Agency wall safe every in-game day or 48 minutes. The most you can make in a day is 20k, so it does cap out at 20k. But doing the security contracts does work towards building up another way to make money with the business. And it's because of those 4 different ways to make money that I think the Dr. Dre Contract / the Agency is the best way to make money in the game right now. Next to the Cayo Perico Heist, you could probably put them on par. Like I said, it depends on how much time you have. and what kind of stuff we like to do in the game. But with that being said, that was the top 10 ways to make money as a solo player. I hope this video helped. If it did, please drop a like. If you're new, subscribe. I will see you in the next one. Peace.